Hello everyone. Today we are talking about one of the easiest holidays to celebrate because it doesn't require expensive gifts or complicated decorations or months of preparation. All you really need is some food, a blanket, and hopefully good weather. Well, welcome to International Picnic Day. And now let's be honest. Has anyone ever said you know what would make this sandwich better? Eating it outside. Because apparently that's exactly how picnics became one of the world's favorite activities. And somehow the same food tastes better when you are sitting in a park. A sandwich at home, ordinary. The same sandwich under a tree, suddenly it's gourmet cuisine. I don't make the rules. That's just picnic science. So, what exactly is a picnic? Most of us think of a picnic as eating outdoors with family or friends, but the story actually goes back hundreds of years. The word picnic comes from the French term piquenique. Picnic. Back in 1692, it wasn't necessarily about eating outside. It was more about people gathering together and sharing food. Did you know about it? In other words, even centuries ago, people were saying, I'll bring the bread, I will bring the cheese, I will bring the dessert. And there was probably one person who forgot everything and showed up empty handed. You know why? Because some traditions never change. That was the original potluck. The earliest picnics were basically community meals. Everyone contributed something. And honestly, I think that's one reason picnics have survived for so long. They are not just about food, they are about sharing. They're about conversation. They're about slowing down long enough to enjoy being around people. Which is becoming increasingly rare in a world where many of us eat lunch while staring at a screen. So when picnics became fashionable, fast forward to the 1700s and 1800s, picnics became very fashionable in England. And when I say fashionable, I don't mean shorts and sneakers. I mean elegant dresses, formal jackets, fancy hats. Imagine trying to sit on a picnic blanket wearing Victorian clothing. I can barely sit comfortably in jeans. Yet somehow people managed entire outdoor feasts dressed like royalty. And yes, of course, there is an experience of Jane Austen picnic experience. Like if you have ever watched period dramas or read Jane Austen novels, you have probably seen these elaborate picnic scenes. The food wasn't simple either. These weren't quick snacks. People packed pies, cold meats, cakes, pastries, sandwiches, and enough food to feed an army. Preparing for a picnic sometimes took days. Meanwhile, today we throw a packet of chips and a juice box into a bag and call it preparation. Progress, I suppose. Right. But no, there was an ultimate picnic challenge. Now let's take a moment to appreciate one challenge picnickers faced before modern technology. Keeping food cold. No coolers, no ice packs, no portable refrigerators, just hope and optimism. Then in 1881, someone invented something called Hare's Patent Refrigerator Basket. Basically, a tiny refrigerator disguised as a picnic basket. So you can imagine how revolutionary that must have been. For the first time, people could take food outdoors without wondering whether it would survive the journey. So now here's something surprising. Picnics aren't always just about food. Sometimes they are connected to history. In 1989, an event called the Pan-European Picnic took place on the border between Austria and Hungary. At first glance, it sounded like an ordinary gathering, but it became a symbolic moment during the collapse of communist rule in Europe. Biggest collapse. Hundreds of East Germans crossed the border during the event. A picnic became part of a major historical turning point, which proves that sometimes even simple gatherings can become significant moments in history. So, do you know that what is the world's biggest picnic? So now let's talk about something fun. Imagine organizing a picnic for 10 people, which is already difficult. 20 people, stressful. Now imagine organizing one for more than 20,000 people. In 2009, Lisbon, Portugal hosted the world's largest picnic. More than 20,000 people attended. 20,000. At that point, it is less of a picnic and more of an outdoor food festival. Can you imagine trying to find your friends? Like, where are you sitting? Near the blanket? Which blanket? There are like 20,000 people here. Okay, so why do we love picnics? What makes picnics so special? Why are we talking about picnic? I think it's because of they combine simple pleasures like food, fresh air, nature, conversation, sunshine, and sometimes complete chaos. Because every picnic has at least one of the following. Someone forgot the napkins. Someone brought too much food. Someone brought too enough food. Someone sits on an ant colony, and someone spends the entire afternoon protecting the snacks from birds. It's practically tradition. You know what? There's something strangely relaxing about eating outdoors also. The pace feels slower. Conversations last longer. People laugh more. Phones are often used less. Nature becomes part of the experience. Great. At least becomes a part of the experience. Even a simple meal feels memorable. A picnic reminds us that happiness doesn't always require expensive entertainment. Sometimes happiness looks like sharing fruit, sandwiches, stories under an open sky. But the good news is that modern picnics don't have rules. You don't need fancy baskets. You don't need gourmet food. You don't need a giant park. A picnic can be a meal in your backyard, a lunch break in a garden, a family outing, a solo afternoon with a book, a gathering with friends, a sunset snacked by a lake. The beauty of a picnic is its simplicity. Now, what I love most about picnic is that they encourage us to pause. In a busy world, we are always rushing somewhere. We are checking emails, meeting deadlines, making plans, thinking about tomorrow. A picnic invites us to do something different. Like we can sit down, take a breath. We can breathe. So enjoy the moment, watch the clouds, listen to the birds, talk to people, eat slowly. For a little while, life feels less complicated. And perhaps that's why picnics have survived for centuries. Imagine, centuries. So on this International Picnic Day, I encourage you to celebrate. Pack a simple meal, grab a blanket, invite family or friends, or simply enjoy some quiet time outdoors. Because the best part of a picnic isn't the food, it's the memories, it's the laughter, it's the conversations. It's a reminder that some of life's greatest pleasures are also the simplest. So thank you so much for joining me today. Happy International Picnic Day. And remember, if food tastes better outside, science may never explain it, but picnickers everywhere already know it's true. See you in the next video.